Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design.
Good evening. Welcome to the Boerboel Show. We back again. What's going on with my Boerboel family? Thank you for joining. We got a really exciting episode today. We hope everyone is doing well. Catching up from last week. Been very busy, very busy. Busy with the dogs, busy with the puppies, busy with the website, busy with everything, busy with the Boerboel life, living the Boerboel life. What's going on with the Boerboel family? Yes, it's time to discuss and dig deeper. Last week we touched on NABBA. We had many questions for NABBA, and I did some research and I did some investigating on my own. Very interesting results. And we're going to share those results with everyone today. And I received a ton of phone calls after our last episode. Everybody that reached out to me, thank you so much for the support and touching base with me. And a lot of members spoke about their concerns, and I wrote them down. We're going to address everybody's concerns. We're going to air them out, and we were looking for some answers, and we hope to get some results. We really would like to see this thing move forward expeditiously. We're going to start off, though. We want to say a prayer for one of the members of NABBA is dealing with some health issues. Miss Hagler, we hope you get well soon. We hope to see you back out there doing your thing and then doing it in the right way. So with that being said, we're going to dig right in. We're going to dig in deep because we got a lot of questions and we want to get down to the bottom of this. So as NABBA, what I found out, because they are a nonprofit organization, NABBA is required in order to maintain their tax exempt status that they are required to submit documents, starting with a charter and bylaws and these things that they should be abiding by. This is part of their mission statement. We would like to know what those things are. We could not find those on the website. But what we did find on the website, again, was those, hey, family, was those appraisal results. And that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that's being spent. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars here, over hundreds of thousands of dollars that's being siphoned out of the Boerboel community. And for what? Being misplaced, being mismanaged, because we don't know what are we getting for these dollars. And we would like to find out. Just based off of membership, the results that we have is 500 members, active members with NABBA at $100 a year. Annual membership is $50,000 just off the bat before we get started with appraisals, before we start submitting DNA results, before we start talking about litter announcements, birth certificates, anything like that. So we got an operating budget of $50,000. So I did the math and I set myself up for annual appraisal, and I did it. Even I cooked the books, and I because I wanted to be fair to NABBA, I wanted to give them some cushion for unknown costs. We always have unforeseen costs when we're doing business. So I broke it down. We visited 10 locations across the United States, and I cooked the books for 2 people to travel. I included travel costs. I included hotel costs, and I just did a mock appraisal and put all of the numbers together so we can get an idea, an estimate of the cost, because we know that we have a certain cost related to business. So with that being understood, we can't have free appraisals. We can't have a club without a cost, right? We know that there are costs associated with doing business. So we have to be fair, and we want to take that into account. But remember that the role of this organization is to further the development of this breed and promote this breed. And that's why we need the mission statement, NABBA. You don't have your mission statement on your website other than is that your mission statement? I can't get anybody on the phone. That's another issue. I can't contact anyone. 4 of the telephone numbers that you have listed on your website are not working. Those, and we'll go over those numbers and we can call them. You got 4 different numbers on the website that's not working. And then the 2 of the numbers that we did not get a response, we tried to call to reach out to get a response from NABBA, but nobody has touched base with us as of yet. And we're going to get to that too. Because we've been waiting. We've been waiting long enough, and the time is up. The time is now. We're not waiting any longer. We need some answers, because we got a lot of people that's concerned, a lot of members that's concerned. And I'm glad that we're having these conversations, because I really think that it's going to bring the breed forward and put them out to their greatest capacity. And that's really what this is all about, furthering the development of the breed. And it shouldn't be, at this weighted, this idle state right now that it is. So we got $50,000 in appraisal, was $50,000 operating budget just off the membership. Did we know that we're going to spend $400? That's going to visit 10 different locations in the United States. And those locations are Florida, Virginia. This is the airlines. And I just went on Google. And what I did was just went with the first flight. And then I tripled up the cost, quadrupled the cost. And so we got a flight to Florida for one person, single flight, it's $80. To Virginia is $187. Pennsylvania is $88. Mississippi was $322. And these are all of the stops on the appraisal route. So we just did a mock appraisal, and we came up with Texas was $188 to travel to Texas, to 2 different, one was Dallas, the other one was Houston, was $205, and Louisiana was $159. So when we put all 10 of those together, we came up with about 8. We just put $4,000, inflated the cost. It was $2,200 and $2,240 was the total cost to fly to 10 locations. And I just doubled that, roughly inflated it to about $8,000. So, or tripled it, quadrupled it. So we got $8,000 in flights. The hotel, I went on the average American for the cost for average stay in a hotel in America right now is $224. So we did that times 10 nights, because we're going to 10 stops, 10 locations. And so that's $2,200 plus $8,000 in flight costs, $100 in certificates, probably another 100 hours worth of labor at $25. So we're talking about $2,500 in labor costs. That's for processing paperwork. So we're looking at just to get started with our first 2 rounds of appraisals. Basically, the only services that we've been seeing offered on the NABBA website, the only thing that we have basically the only product that we have from NABBA is appraisals, the results. And so we just based it off of the tours. We weren't privy to anything else that they were offering. And if anybody else, we all have these questions. What else is NABBA offering? We want to know. And if somebody has the answers, we're going to give you about 72 hours to get back with us, because we feel that we're being defrauded. We feel that this is a scam. And basically what you are supposed to be doing, according to the IRS, is furthering your agenda that you have filed as a nonprofit, which is the breed, and not enriching yourself. It's not to put money in your pockets. It's not to stuff your pockets so you can live your good life and live a good life and pay your bills. It's not a side hustle. And if it is, that's okay. You should say that this is my business and this is what I do. This is how I make money. This is how I feed my family. And that's why I'm doing it, to make a profit. You can't say I'm doing this in order to further the breed, and then under false pretenses. That's a form of fraud, and that's a form of cheating. That's a form of theft. And we want to give you 72 hours. We want to give you the benefit of the doubt because we waited. And we also have been waiting, and we keep hearing that these things are going to change, that the changes are coming soon, and we're tired of waiting. It's time for us to stand up, and we want answers. We're demanding answers. We're demanding to see, number one, the charter, number two, the bylaws, and number three, the 990s that is supposed to be filed with every nonprofit organization, your annual reporting, because we have we have a paper trail. Even though that NABBA accepts only cash at the appraisals, we still have a way to, because of the appraisal results, we have a way to paper trail the amount of results and the cash that was took in from the appraisals. That's right, felonies. We're talking about some serious crime going on here. Now, it's a criminal organization based off. If we can't justify these numbers, if we can't justify this spending, and we can't see anything, why does the appraisal cost $150? And we already know that the cost of flight and for the hotel stay for two people, we can cover that with two appraisals. Mandatory for the event is 10. So we got 10 appraisals, $1,500. We got mandatory for any appraisal was going to be at $1,500. That's enough to cover the cost for two people to get there, and that's enough to cover the hotel fees, dinner at a 5-star restaurant, and a breakfast and mimosas in the morning, champagne, and a bubble bath. So you get the whole 5-star treatment. That's $1,500. That's before you get there. We haven't even got to the memberships. So what are we getting for our money now? But that's what our basic concerns. What are we getting for our money other than the appraisals? What can you say that you are really doing for the community? Because we feel that you are taking our money and then we don't hear from you again until it's time to get appraisals again. The fees, we got a lot of questions about the fees. Can you help us understand the membership cost? How was that number? Did we arrive at that number? And what are the costs associated with maintaining the database or whatever that you have to do in order to justify the membership cost? What are we getting for this money? Or the puppies are not tattooed with a registration, and we don't even get pictures of the dogs that have been appraised in public publications of the documented of the process. And we want to really legitimize what's going on with the Boerboel breed. As a caretaker and the governor of the breed, we feel that it's our responsibility to do the best. We owe this to the dogs. It's not a way to enrich ourselves. It's a way to provide the public with the best the dog that they can have and put our breed on display and how they can fit into people's lives. We need to be educating the public about the dogs, and it's none of that is happening. This is all things that NABBA is saying that they are committed to doing. And we got a new generation of breeders that's coming up, and we're not standing for this. We're not going to allow this to happen. And things are changing. Things are changing. You had to know that it wasn't going to always be the same. And we want our questions answered. We want our questions answered, and these are legitimate. It's not about favoritism. It's nothing personal. It's not about. Don't get it twisted. It's strictly about the dogs. We're gonna keep it about the Boerboels. And in order to take this breed to the greatest, we need to bring people together, and that's the best way to do it. The members should not have to feel trapped. We can't get our dogs registered. We can't register our puppies without the appraisals. Now, Ms. Hagler is sick. What are we supposed to do now? We stuck. What's the status? What's the status of the organization? Where are the other members? Where are the other board members? The treasurer, the secretary, all of these other purported people that's supposed to be involved with the organization. When do they step in? Where do they fill in? Because the state of the breed is at stake, right? And all of these things, they should be available upon request. They should definitely have a corporate charter, because I looked it up, and I'll go here where I'll show you my findings. Let me just see what I did was, because I was trying to find out about the board and see if I could get in touch with some of these people. So what I did was I Googled some of the board members' names. And I'll just show you what I did, because I'll bring up the screen so we all can see. So on this screen here, I just go here, copy this name, Lisa Apple, copy, go up here to Google, paste and search for Lisa Apple, add the tag Boerboel. And then what we came up with was this: open corporates. So this had the information that NABBA was incorporated in 2013 as a domestic nonprofit in Florida with the agent name of Shirley Hager. It's got the address, and these are some of the purported board members. And this was the information that I found. So in order to request the results, to request that charter and that information, that's what we're going to do right now. We're requesting the charter. We're requesting the financial records, the 990, which they're required to file, because I also looked up, what do we have to do in order to maintain our status, just out of curiosity, to find out, is NABBA, what is required of 501c3 to maintain tax exempt status. What is required for 501c3 tax exempt status? Now, exemption requires it. Now, this is straight up from the IRS. Now, it says that to be tax exempt, these are the exemption requirements for 501c3 organizations. To be tax exempt under 501c3 or the Internal Revenue Code, an organization must be organized and operated exclusively for exempt purposes set forth in 501c3, and none of its earnings may inure any private shareholder or individual. In addition, it may not be an action organization. It may not attempt to influence legislation. We know that NABBA's not trying to do that. Okay, but here we go. None of its earnings may not inure into any private shareholder or individual. Inure. Do we need to know what that word means? Inurement is must not be organized or operated for the benefit of private interests, such as the creator or the creator's family, shareholders of the organization, other designated individuals, or controlled directly or directly by such private interests. No part of net earnings of the 501(c)(3) may inure to benefit any private shareholder and individual. Any private shareholder or individual is a person having a personal or private interest in the activities of the organization. So we know who's in the active and involved individual that's taking part of these organization in this organization. Upon request to provide, yes, exactly, in the tax form 990 for these rights. So this is required to be annually reported. And upon request, we submit these documents upon request, which we're going to be submitting in 72 hours. We haven't heard from NABBA. So this is what we're concerned about, NABBA, because we have this gap in funds. We got a lot of money that's unaccounted for, because we see, if we go back to the NABBA website, we see that NABBA has really not been maintaining this website, right? And so that's not a cost. That's not a substantial cost, because there has nothing been done. And we know that this money has been collected because people have traveled these appraisals, because we can look at the appraisal results. We want to know. There's no mention of the charter. This is what NABBA says about what they're about: to provide a service for members and to assist anyone interested in the Boerboel breed, whether breeder, owner, or enthusiast. So is there a requirement for membership? We need to know that, because you're denying and accepting members based off of what? And it's 990. We're going to make this request, but hopefully what we plan to get is some cooperation. If we could get somebody to speak up on behalf of NABBA to call, or they could call in, or they could come to visit, or they could submit, even respond to our email request, then we can start to have these conversations, and we can really do what we came to do, which is move the breed forward in a positive direction. We're not going to stand back and allow these double appraisals where you have us come, bring our dog in and tell us it is too young, and then we're going to get downgraded on our scores, and you're not going to make us feel like we get in double jeopardy and have to pay 2 times to get the same thing, or lesser than. And then at the end of the day, it's a double fee. But how are we justifying this cost? And these are all about concerns of the members. This is not me speaking from myself. This is many others, people that's involved, would like to know what's going on with this organization, because it's in violation. And we really want to be sure and certain that NABBA truly has the best interest of the Boerboel community and the breed itself at its heart. Is this truly what NABBA came to do, is further the breed, or is it about another form of business and just enriching themselves and getting more money and getting more paper, making more, putting paper in their pocket and having more for themselves? And there's nothing wrong with that, but that needs to be said up front. And there's a different way that people participate in those type of organizations when they are run that way. And we feel like that the control, we're tired of being controlled. We feel that you is dictating who can join, when they can join, and where, and what we can do. And we would like to have some championships. We want to crown a Boerboel champion, and that hasn't been done in this country. A champion, well, other than the AKC. We would like to have a Boerboel champion. We would like to be able to participate and bring our dogs. The education. What makes why do you have to control the education? When is there going to be this education that you say that you have had, or you're going to, say that you're going to provide for the members about the dogs? Let us see that. We want to know when is that going to be? These things, these promises that you made to us, it's looking for you to deliver on the promises. And if not, we're ready to step in and take over. Now, what we're going to be looking for in the next 72 hours is the domain address, NABBAUS.com. We would like that transferred, the registration transferred over to us and submitted to my email. You can submit that information to my email, as well as the database that you have with all of the information and we're going to absorb NABBA into our organization, and we're going to take over with qualified representation, starting with me at the top. And we're going to make it where it's democratic, and we're going to have votes. And I really don't want to do this, but it has to be done. Somebody has to do it, and I'm willing to stand up and take charge and be the one to initiate the process if that is what it takes. So we're looking for these, or what we can do is go the other route. And let me show you the other route, what we can do. And I think that this is really the hard way to do things. We don't want to go the hard way. It's easy. It's the easy way to do it. If we can't get answers because we spent our money and we waiting on these changes, and we feel like we being bamboozled, that you want to just keep giving us these lines, we're not going to just sit back and wait. If you're not willing, we're going to draw up letters, and then we're going to go to this website right here, and we're going to take a look at this letter, because we feel that we being cheated and something is, you trying to pull the wool over our eyes. That's over with. We done waiting. We done sitting. We standing up. The time is now 72 hours. We don't want you to lose your 501c3 tax exempt status. We don't want to have to submit a letter with this records request. And we definitely don't want to have to do something we don't want to do. Let's just put it like that. Okay. We definitely don't want to have to do something like contact the IRS and as if we submit. We don't want to go that far, but you're going to leave us no choice. So we need the domains, the host and provider. We need those transferred. We want the Facebook page so we can start making some real announcements, so we can start bringing together the community. Because what we're going to do, yes, I can enlarge that. What we're going to do is we're going to start organizing small chapters. We're going to start organizing small clubs. We're going to start meeting on a regular basis. We're going to start real education about the breed. We're going to start involving the public, and we're going to start doing this expeditiously. We're not going to wait any longer. The time is now. 72 hours. Somebody get in touch. Somebody, let me see. What you want me to go back some? Go here. This is how to lose your tax one status. The private number one. They got it plain as day. should be directed towards the exempt purpose, should not serve private interest or private benefit of any individual or organization more than insubstantially. Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. Not to the tune of 50, 60,000 bucks. Not to the tune of that. No. Prohibited from allowing income or assets to benefit insiders. Typically board members, officers, directors, and important employees of an organization. If an organization benefits insiders, the insiders in organization could be subject to penalty, exceeds taxes, and organization could lose its tax exempt status. Now, we can take this a bit further. What do you do if you suspect charity fraud? Okay. Well, what do I do if I suspect that charity is a fraud? I forgot something. IRS. There we go. How do you report suspected tax fraud activity? Here you go. You can submit an individual or business is not complying with tax laws. You can submit a 33949A online by mail. We don't take these law violations over the phone. Evidentially, we will keep your identity confidential when you file a tax fraud report. You won't receive a status or progress update due to tax return confidentiality. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Complaint process. There you go. Now, tax exempt organization complaint referral form. If you suspect a tax exempt organization is not complying with the tax laws, you may send information to the tax exempt and government entities division. You may use form 139009 tax exempt organization referral complaint form, or send information in a letter format and attach any supporting documentation for this purpose. Form 13909 or complaint letter can be submitted. And what we'll do is we'll put it together. We're going to have if anybody else knows more people that would like to be involved, they can contact. We're going to put up a form, and they can submit their information, and we'll have multiple letters, and we're going to do a mass merged letter, and everybody can sign it, letters, individuals, and we'll all send them out to the IRS. And that's how we should get some answers. We should get some results. It's real simple. It's real simple though. And you can just, the easy thing to do is just comply and do the right thing. And or we know that it's a lot. We know that it's a lot. But we got people that's qualified, that's ready to step in, that's ready to take care of business. Yes, you can be involved even if you're not a member, because it's a public organization. It's 501c3, so it's a government. It's an extension of the government, so to speak, in so many words. Means that we can make these records requests without even being members. So yes, you can be involved, and we can also make these complaints if they fail to produce the proper documentation. So we're looking for all the support that we can, because at the end of the day, this is all about the breeds, the dogs that we love, the Boerboels that we love, and we're going far, and we tired of being held back because of personal issues It's not. It's this. Too many people are putting a lot of time and energy and effort into the dogs, and then we being let short. We being let down, coming up short of the organization. So we're ready to step up and do what we need to do. I really appreciate everybody from joining. We're going to take some questions. If anybody have questions, we're going to recap this episode. Appreciate everybody that left the comments. We definitely are not waiting any longer. We're not getting any younger. So you know what time it is. Yes. So we catch up with y'all 72 hours. We're gonna do probably a real special. Everybody enjoy their weekend, and we're gonna get back with y'all with the results. This is interesting, and I'm very excited. Life is Boerboel good, that's for sure.
No rush, go and move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go and move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you got a deal run up. Old gang, old man, old school, young jam.